Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo flawless on the new dungeon called the Duality, or we can call it Duality, with Hunter. For my loadout, I'll be using the Night Stalker. Here are the mods and fragments I'll be using in this video. For my kinetic, Thoughtless, energy weapon will be Enigma, heavy will be Lament. Mods will be Sword Ammo Finder, 10 Mobility, and Dripping Well Maker. Next will be Glaives of Dreams with Powerful Friends and 10 Resilience. Exotic will be 6 Coyote with double Solar and Void Resistance. For the legs will be Sword Scavenger, Elemental Charge, and Resilience. Last will be Bomber, Supercharge, and 10 Resilience. Alright guys, so for this video, I decided to go for the Hunter, and for the first and the second encounter, I'll be using the Void Hunter subclass, and then for the final boss, I'll be using the Solar Hunter subclass. First of all, I do want to apologize because this video is a little long. This was my first go for getting the solo flawless emblem, and I was playing very safe throughout this entire nightfall, throughout this entire dungeon. There will be some time skips of me farming for heavy, and there will be little pauses here and there of me explaining about the symbols. So before we're going to the boss, we had to shoot these red bells. These red bells actually teleport you to the nightmare room or to the dark room. When you do see the bell, you must shoot the red bell in the circle. If you don't shoot the red bell out of the circle, you will die. Now here I was just browsing. I thought maybe I could find a good angle, but my bad for that. Once you do hit the red bell as you saw there, then you have to climb up to hit the next bell. Now, if you do want to, you can use stompies. For this video, I didn't really use stompies because stompies betrayed me. It bounced me off on pillars and then it ruined my solo flawless. So that's why I'm not really using any of these stompies. And another thing I do highly recommend is to have 100 or at least 9 tier resilience for Hunter, Warlock, and Titan. So they changed some mechanics, so resilience is the meta for this season, and it makes your character way more tanky and easier to deal with the ads. Now you can see over there we hit or shoot the red bell. We're gonna go to the nightmare room and just make your way to the next bell. The next bell is actually just straightforward, but always remember to shoot the red bell inside the circle. Now there are bugs with the red bell, which I have had it 10 times unfortunately, where if you do hug the bell, it will kill you for some reason. I'm not really sure why, if it's a bug or something, but it happens. Another thing I like to warn is try not to throw your grenade at the red bell when you're out of the circle, because it will activate the bell and it will lead to the death. Now over here, I'm going to go to the next bell. And remember inside the circle when shooting the red bell. Once I go to the normal room, right, we're going to go down over here and shoot the next bell so we can go to the next encounter. Always remember that when going to Nightmare Room, you must go all the way from this direction or from the far right side. Or you can jump to this pillar where I was standing before and then make your way to the next bell. So all these mechanics is basically what you'll be doing throughout each of the encounters. You can also turn invisible to just ignore these ads that do try to attack you as well. And now we're actually gonna make it to the boss fight very soon. So over here, there's gonna be these Cabal Colossus, which they are extremely dangerous, especially the boss fight, which I will talk about very soon for the final encounter, since basically for the first encounter we won't really be dealing with them so much for the Void Hunter. If on Solar Hunter, yes, you will deal with them quite a lot, but since we have the power and invisibility, we can actually ignore them. So all you have to do over here is just clear down ads with Lament, or if you don't want to use Lament for this one, you could switch to Lambanark, Trinity Gold to clear them down. Once you clear down these Scions, these Cabals, then the door will open from underneath, and we're actually going to go to the actual encounter boss, the Nightmare of Gahlran, the Sorrow Bearer. And there will be a rally flag. So before I start this encounter, let's talk about the map. Alright, so I'm going to be showing the map, by the way. This is just a sketch map that I drew. But Blitz is too girly, I can't read it. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's going to get more girlier each of the encounters. There's going to be 4 symbols, just like Leviathan raid years ago. There's going to be cup, sun, axe, and dog. So if you look at the map and the diagram, white circle with a black outline are the bell keepers. The turquoise circles that are next to the symbols are of course, the symbols. And these deadly adorable bells are the red bells that will teleport you to the nightmare room, and they will teleport you to the normal room. And the lines you see from the dog and the lines you see from the cup, they're the ones that have these stairs. The bell keepers will always spawn next to the red bells, and there's always 2 of them. Now we read the map, yay for that. Now we can actually go to the counter, and like I said, you can also skip this chapter if you already know the map. This is just for new players who are new to the dungeon. Alright guys, so I rallied the flag, and now we're gonna get started. So what I like to do here is use a sniper and make my way to the nightmare room. Now there's going to be these bearers, right, that we need to get these symbols. For the solo, I do recommend to take down both of these bearers and only pick up 1 symbol. That way we can extend our DPS with the Master of Gahlran boss. Now lucky for me, both of the bearers or the scions spawn at the same area. Alright, so let me pause here of where my hunter is turning invisible, holding circle. You can see here that I did took down the bearer. And now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave this symbol called cup, by the way. I'm going to come back on the next symbol phase. Mainly you want to get the first symbol, and then you kill the second bearer, as you saw here. Then you're going to leave it. And this is a strat for solo, by the way. I mean, for a fire team, of course, you can pick it up with your whole fire team. But for solo, I do recommend just to leave it for now, and you'll pick it up later. So I'm going to leave it as you saw there, and now we're going to go back to the normal room. So you can see there's a timer of nightmare collapsing around 44 seconds. So make sure you are in the circle, by the way, to teleport to the normal room. So now I have War Beast, basically dog. And the dog is actually from the stairs, well, left side, but right side since I'm in the opposite direction. So make sure you take down the bell keepers and then dunk the symbol for the dog. Once you dunk the dog symbol, you can turn invisible and then just shoot the red bell to the nightmare room. Now there's going to be these mini nightmare Gahlrans. basically what you have to do over here is take them down as quickly as possible. I would say a decent amount of time since this phase is not the DPS. So once you take them down, then take down the 2 bell keepers. And then we're going to be picking up the cup. So remember that cup we left? We're going to pick it up, by the way. So what we're going to do over here is I'm going to look for the cup symbol and then pick it up. And I forgot where it was. I think it was from the right side. Alright, so I'm going to pause here where it says requiring Saturn Essence. So if you guys notice, I'm picking up the cup that I left on the previous nightmare room that we were before. And then it spawned this bearer, right? So what you have to do over here is actually leave this bearer alone and then just pick up the cup symbol or the axe or the beast, depending which symbol you left off previously. Now the reason why I say leave it is because this bearer scion is going to extend your time for the DPS for the boss phase. Always remember, during the second phase of picking up symbols, make sure you pick up the symbol you left off and leave this bearer alone for now until we teleport back to Nightmare Room. So now I'm gonna unpause because now I explain what I'm doing because I know it's a little bit too fast, to be honest. As you can see here, I picked it up. I'm gonna go to the Nightmare Room in the circle. Just pretend it's SpongeBob SquarePants of the Sea Bear monster, where SpongeBob and Patrick had to go in the circle to be safe. That's basically what you're doing. I do apologize. I know that's a silly reference, but that's the only thing I could think of at the moment. So just pretend the circle is safe, and it is safe, of course, and make sure you're there and hit the bell, and don't hug the bell too much because it will kill you and it will ruin your Soul of Flawless. So over here what I did is I am taking down these bell keepers and then dunking the callus or the cup. You're probably wondering what I'm doing over here. I'm trying to farm some heavy. I was trying to see if I can 2-phase it, but it kind of didn't work out. So for this footage, I didn't 2-phase it, I 3-phase it, and I kind of messed up my DPS. I think it's because I didn't pick up enough of the elemental wells. Either that or I wasn't doing the DPS right. Now, this is going to be the DPS phase, and you must take down these Nightmare Gahlrans, these mini guys, as soon as possible. So make sure you take him down very, very quickly. And then now we're going to take down this bearer that we ignored previously. So we extended the time a bit. Okay, I'm going to pause over here where you see the bell keepers. I'm about to snipe them, and then there's this symbol. Alright, so what you do over here is you ignore this symbol. This is basically the quote-unquote the fake symbol, because we're doing like a solo strat of extending the time so we can do DPS. So I repeat, during the boss DPS, ignore the symbol. Ignore the symbol during the boss DPS because it's gonna change once we reset during the symbol hunt. And now I'm gonna be taking down these bell keepers. Now, like I said, the raised sniper, the successful, I forgot what's it called, it can one-shot them. So if you have it, then use it. If you don't, then use Thoughtless or Launch Shadow. So now I'm going to be doing as much DPS as I can. I was trying to do a lot of DPS, but during the second phase, I didn't do so well. I was just having bad luck. But you know, nobody's perfect. You know, maybe if I went with the solar subclass, it would have been easier to deal with these cabals that are shooting arc at me. But anyway, it's done, you know. So now I have around 6 seconds. I was being a little too aggressive. Always make sure you're in the bubble or in the circle. and you can teleport back to the normal room. Now the whole thing's gonna reset, and we're gonna go be doing the symbol hunt. So now we're gonna go take down these bell keepers. You can just use your melee shot with the MsBlitzVI. So make sure you take them down, and now we're gonna be hunting for symbols. Yes, we're gonna be hunting for symbols. So now I'm gonna hit the bell. And now we see some bears. So now I'm gonna do just like before. I'm gonna pick up one symbol, right? And of course take down these bell keepers. If you don't, then the red bell will be immune and it will lead to your death. And now I'm gonna pause over here. Alright, so I'm gonna pause here where it says acquire Saturn Essence and with the cup symbol. So remember that symbol that we ignore picking up during the boss DPS? Yes, it's that guy again. What you're gonna do over here is you don't pick this up and you take down the bear, as you can see over here right in the front. And yes, I am pausing this video because it's going way too fast, and I need to explain it in detail. You're gonna take down this bearer. Now I'm gonna pause again, by the way, so you can see that the symbol's gonna change. Sometimes the symbol won't change, it'll just be the same thing as you saw here. It's just cup. So now what you're gonna do over here is, of course, you only pick up one symbol, you take down the bearer and ignore that symbol. And then you're gonna go to the red bell in the circle, by the way. Just pretend it's Sea Bear Monster from SpongeBob. Gotta be in the circle. And now we're gonna be dunking the sun symbol. So make sure you take down these bell keepers. And if you guys notice, you see these banners from the left side. They also tell you where these symbols are as well. So if you do have trouble of where they are, these banners, these purple banners you can see from left and right, they will tell you of all the symbols of the location. Now I'm going to be dunking the sun symbol, by the way. And I'm going to turn invisible. Ignore these ads because I don't really need it. And now what I'm going to do over here is just take down these nightmare. You don't really need to rush for this phase. This isn't the boss DPS. Mainly you want to take them down. They do push towards you. You just have to be very, very aware of the map. That way you won't forget any of them, because sometimes they do stand around. So now I'm going to take down these bell keepers, and we're going to be looking for the symbol. So remember that symbol we left off? The cup? Yeah, we're going to be picking up the cup. So the same thing like the previous phase. We're going to ignore the bear, as you saw here, and then pick up the callus. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to dodge and then make my way to shoot the bell. Now 2 bell keepers are going to respawn, and you can just simply melee them. They're not dangerous. I think they're more dangerous at the final boss, which I will explain, very soon, not now. And then you can take down these scions and farm for heavy. I was trying to farm for heavy, I'll be really, really honest. I thought maybe I could do the 2 phase for the boss, but I was wrong. I didn't do enough DPS, and things happen. Nobody's perfect. So that's basically what I'm doing here. You're just if you're trying to figure out like, oh, Blitz, you're supposed to the cup. Yeah, I know, but I was trying to be ambitious, okay, and I just wanted to 2-phase it, but I couldn't in this video. Of course, I did upload a video of the 2-phase, but Nobody's perfect. So now, once again, I'm gonna go in this room. And always remember to not equip your glaive. Always have your sniper and your lament equipped. The Glaive of Dreams is gonna give you additional duration for the nightmare collapsing. So now this is gonna be the DPS. So now I'm gonna kill the bearer, ignore the symbol. And of course these guys are not collaborating with me. My goodness. Now we're gonna be doing DPS. I have around like 48 seconds, and of course this boss is not collaborating with me. And I think I forgot to use my super. Okay, I did not forget my super. I was gonna say something. So now I was trying to do as much DPS, you know, light swing, 3 light swings, and then charge attack 3 times with the R2. So I was trying to do as much DPS. Okay, now I have to remember. So the reason why I couldn't do DPS is I ran out of ammo. Isn't that cute? Because I ran out of ammo, I wasn't able to two-phase it. So I was trying to figure out like why I didn't two-phase it. It's because I didn't have any ammo. And if I did had ammo, I would have two-phased it right away. But you know, things happen. Now we're gonna go doing the reset of symbol hunting. Yes, I'm just gonna call it symbol hunting. That's basically what we're gonna be doing. For the fire team, honestly, it's only one phase of symbol hunting, and the next phase is the boss DPS. So now, as we are doing before, we're going to take down these bearers and then pick up only one symbol. I'm not going to pause anything, you know. This time, you know, we got it. We got it, Blitz. You don't have to pause it. I know, but for the new players, no, Blitz, don't, no. I mean, I have to. So now what I'm going to do over here is I'm just browsing and looking, right? And then just trying to make sure I pick up the right symbol. Now you're probably thinking, oh my god, Blitz, what's going on? The reason why I picked up the second symbol is because I don't really need additional duration time for the DPS for the boss. Because of that, right, I don't really need it. So that's why I picked it up, because the health of the boss is very tiny, right? So I decided to pick it up. So now I'm going to be showing you something very interesting. I think I'm going to pick up the fake symbol and just to show you of why I call it the fake symbol. I think I picked it up. Okay, so this is what happens when you pick up the fake symbol. So remember that cup that we ignored during the boss phase? So this is the fake symbol. So I'm going to be showing you of what happens when you pick up the fake symbol. And this is going to be very interesting. So remember, the axe is the one that's going to open the doors. And you'll see very soon that on purpose, I'm probably going to dunk the cup and nothing is going to happen. I'm pretty sure. So right now I was debating, by the way, in my run, like should I try to dunk the fake symbol or not? You know? Or just ignore the symbol. that was I was debating right now during this last phase, just to show you guys what happens when you pick up the fake one. So I decided to dunk very soon once I clear down these scions. So guess what happens? No, seriously, guess what happens? Nothing happens. So this is why I say don't pick up these symbols. I like to call it the fake symbols. So the fake symbols won't open the door. So just to let everyone know, you know, like, Blitz, it wasn't open because you picked up the fake one. Right? So now we're actually gonna dunk the real symbol, the axe, right? And take down these bell keepers. Once we do that, we're gonna go back over here and then shoot the red bell. Now this is gonna be the boss DPS. I was just taking my time here since the boss's health is really low. So there's really no need for me to rush too much. You know, but you can see over here that I only have around 39 seconds to do DPS. Which is why doing the other method, the other strat of leaving the bearer, etc. of leaving the bearer will help so much with DPS. You can see I only have like 35 seconds to do DPS with the boss. Where when I did the other strat of leaving the symbol, I had like around 55 seconds or 50 seconds. So there you go guys, we finally defeated the boss for the first encounter, the Solidal Bearer Nightmare at Gahlran. So these puzzles are kind of irritating for Hunter without Stompies. I feel like the jumpings for the Hunter is very bad compared to the Warlock and the Titan. It's just a bit annoying, and I feel like they need to buff the jumps for the Hunter, you know? And you have to be very careful. Now I'm trying to go a shortcut, by the way. Just be very careful because you can see over here I was being extremely reckless. So if you don't want to go this way, which I'm pretty sure not a lot of players will like to go over here, you can go to the left side of the platform and you can make your way to activate the switch. Now if you're probably wondering where it is, it's from the far left side. You can see there's platforms from the far left side. You can just go over there, right? And then make your way to get to the switch from that left side if you don't want to go to the shortcut. I went to the shortcut because the dungeon was annoying me and I just wanted to get it done. So now over here, so make sure you jump, right? Just make sure you double jump and just try your best not to get yourself killed during that little area of falling down, because for the Titan and Warlock it's very, you know, Warlocks can float, Titans can make their way to survive, but for the Hunter you only have 2 jumps, and if you mess up, well, that's it, start all over again. Now this one really bothers me. I have to do one light swing of a sword, any sword, and then use both of my jumps. That one, I say that's ridiculous. I feel like that platform needs to be a little bit more closer for the Hunter, because sometimes there are players who don't like using swords and they're going to die unless they have Stompies. So I find that very ridiculous. Now over here, it's gonna be similar of we had to make sure all these Cabal statues are facing the red bell. So usually what I like to do is 2 switches from 2 of them, and then one of them is gonna be 3. Sometimes I do forget. So usually what I do is I do 2 switches, right? And then I go back to the red bell. So remember, we're in a nightmare room, so we must be in the circle to go back to the normal room. So right now I'm just trying to count. I actually forgot. That's why I was just standing there like, okay, Blitz, why are you standing there? Now I'm gonna go back here in the circle, right? And make sure I don't die from the bell. So now you can see I did 2. And this one, it looks like I need to do 1 more. So usually it's 2 and then 3, but I can never get it on first go. Usually second go I can get it. So for this guy, 1 switch and then that's it. And then you'll unlock the door and then we can make our way to the next section. So always remember in the circle, and then now the door will be opening from the bottom. So the door is opening. Yay. Now we can go down to the next encounter. And it's gonna be extremely fun for you guys, but not for me. I'm gonna be talking about my loadout. So of course the subclass I'll be using is Void. It's the same as the first encounter. For my kinetic, I'll be using Thoughtless. For my energy weapon, I'll be using Enigma, and the exotic I'll be using is Xenophage. The reason why I'm using Xenophage is to deal with the Bell Keepers, which I will talk about that very soon. Now for my helmet, I'll be using 10 Mobility, Hermetic Siphon, Machine Gun Ammo Finder, and Reaping Wellmaker. For my gauntlets, I'll be using Unstoppable Glaive, Powerful Friends, 10 Resilience. For the chest plate, I'll be using double Solar, Void, Resilience, 5 Mobility, and High Energy Fire. I'm not using Loosened Blade, I'm using High Energy Fire. Next, I'll be using Machine Gun Scavenger, Elemental Charge with 10 Resilience. And for my cape is Arc, by the way, with Striking Light with the Uncatchable, and 10 Resilience and Outrage. Now let me just show you the map. This is my little map I sketch out. So the Bell Keepers are going to be at the bottom. You can see that I color black because it's going to be at the bottom, at the stairs, and the bottom of where the rally flag is. And the rally flag is the outline circle, blue. The blue circles around that looks like a flower at the middle. Those will be the 2 symbols that you will see at every symbol hunt phase, by the way. And then there's going to be 2 bells. There's going to be 1 bell behind the rally flag and then 1 bell at the staircase. So on the rally flag, there's going to be the sun from the left side and then the cup from the right side. The stairs bell has a dog from the left side and then has the axe from the right side. So the most unique about this map is you can actually flip it. So if you are at the stairs where the bell is, you can flip it, then the symbols will be on the opposite direction. So now we know the map, yay for that. And of course there is the death pit, the death hole. It only appears at the nightmare room. So it doesn't appear at the normal room, but you will have to be very careful at the dark room when we do teleport there. Like I said, if you already know the symbols, you memorize by heart, you can skip this chapter. Alright, so for this encounter, it's gonna be the vault. I decided to use Xenophage with Glaive and Sniper. 2 of the Bell Keepers will be underground from the back and the front. Now for this encounter, definitely take both of them down and then we can go to the nightmare room. There's gonna be, as I said in the map, there will be symbols at the middle room. Basically it looks like a flower, to be honest. And then there's gonna be these symbols behind these walls, which will lead to the stairs at the nightmare room. For the symbols, it is cup and axe. So you can actually use the map, or you can use these walls to indicate where the symbols will be once you hit the red bells and go to the nightmare room. Now going to the nightmare room, always have full ammo, well around 20 ammo for Xenophage. Since we'll be clearing the ads, it's more of a speed run to hunt for these symbols. Over here I was just trying to bait the ads to go to the opposite direction so I could hit the bell. So I used my sniper and went up to the stairs, and this is gonna be the callus or the cup. Now there's gonna be these cabals with these shields, which I highly recommend you take down. It would take around 2 shots, and of course the Arc Colossus Cabal will take around 2 as well. You must clear them down as fast as you can, so this mini boss over here, the bearer, will spawn. You can defeat it and then quickly grab the symbol. Once you do clear down the ads and pick up the symbol, you must go to the opposite direction to take down the bearers. Now I will pause on the next phase, or the next, I would say, symbol hunt-ish, just to show what I'm talking about, of which direction to take down the bell keepers. Now once you pick up the symbol, you can dunk the cup and then make your way with the next symbol. Now here's the pros and the cons of Xenophage. The good thing about Xenophage is you can clear down ads very fast in the nightmare room, since our time limit's very limited. The bad thing about Xenophage is, for some reason, since I'm using double special and I don't have double machine ammo finder, it does take time to farm a bit of bricks just to go to a nightmare room and hunt for these symbols. So now I'm going to be waiting for my dodge so I can go to the next symbol hunting, and the next symbol is axe. So here is the axe symbol. I was just double checking, by the way. This dungeon is still very new, I do apologize. Now I'm going to be baiting the ads a bit so they can go to a different direction. Once I do, I turn invisible, and then I'm going to go and activate the red bell from far distance. Reason why I do this is, well, let's be honest, Hunter without stompies is just horrible. Yeah, hunters are very slow in this encounter. I really hate this encounter because I feel like for the warlock and titan it's easier for the vault, but for the hunter it's just complicated. So during the nightmare room, you only have, like I said, very limited nightmare timer, and you have to take down the 2 bell keepers for the red bell to be available to teleport back to the normal room. So when you do hit the red bell from the normal room, then the opposite bell will be available. You can also indicate from the bell area, where you can see there's no bell in that specific area right there. So that means that the bell walkers are underneath. And I will show another example again for the next symbol hunting. So now I'm going to one-shot these bell keepers and make my way to the normal area. And always remember to go in the circle. So once we do this, now we can actually claim the axe. And then I'll be going upstairs to do some DPS to the boss. So mainly for every phase, there's going to be 3 mini bosses. You have to pick up 2 symbols. And every time you dunk the 2 symbols, then a mini boss will be available to do DPS. Now, the safest for me is the stairs. The arc mini boss actually is not supposed to be up in the stairs. Another thing I would say is when you do dunk the last symbol, then there will be bell walkers that will spawn again. But I do recommend not to take them down because you can make the red bells immune, and it will make it easier to take down the ads when you're on the stairs, because ads don't really push too much compared to the underground. That's the only bad thing about using Xenophage. It's just a little slow with DPS. And you run out of ammo very, very quickly. That's the only bad thing about Xenophage. I mean, it is the safest, but during DPS, it's just not so good. And you have to be very careful with the cabals as well, because I don't have arc resistance. Maybe if I did, that would be a little bit more tankier, but I decided to use the striking light with the uncatchables, since mainly when I'm running around, I don't want to get melted by these ads. Now, if you do see heavy bricks on the ground, do recommend to just turn invisible and then just make your way to pick it up and then do some DPS. The only bad thing about these stairs is they can throw bombs, and then some of the cabals can also hop on top, but you can easily just do a melee and then use finisher to take them down, so it isn't really a big issue. So now I'm just trying to do as much DPS as I can. And of course these bell keepers were in the way, as usual. So yeah, this is the cons of Xenophage. Now I could use my sniper. I was thinking about using my sniper, by the way. I think I forgot. I was just too focused on trying to take down the boss. Well, one of the mini bosses. Once we take down the mini boss, now what you want to do over here is farm heavy. Yes, you need around, I would say, 18 ammo. 18 ammo to at least go to the nightmare room. So now it's going to reset, and now we have to deal with 2 of the symbols. So now I'm going to be picking up some heavy, of course, and then we're gonna be going back to the nightmare room. But the good news is that we have Xenophage, so Xenophage is gonna help a lot throughout this entire encounter for the vault. So the symbols are dog and sun. I'm at the stairs, right? So it would literally be the opposite side. For the dog, and then for the sun will be probably the left side of where the rally is. Alright, so I was double checking dog and sun, and then I just want to look at the walls. So right now, first things first, I'm just trying to take down these bell keepers. These, so I can unlock the red bells. So you're probably wondering where I'm standing. So this area is probably the safest, especially to take mini breaks. You know, the boss doesn't really push here. Maybe the second mini boss, yes, I wouldn't say it's 100% safe. So now if you're probably wondering here, I was just reading the map, by the way. That's why I was standing there too. So as I said, the symbols is sun and dog, so I was just trying to see where the symbols are. And of course I was turning invisible so I can make my way to the nightmare room. So yeah, I'm gonna use my sniper here and then make my way to the nightmare room. So clear down these ads. I do jump for some reason. It does count as trying to spawn the bearer. I don't know why, but if it works, you know. So yeah, this is really fun, isn't it? So mainly you want to speed run this, or try your best to speed run this, because you want the mini boss, the bearer, to spawn so you can get the symbol and then you just get out, you know. Now I actually was thinking of going for the next symbol, but it just wasn't worth it. I mean, with Hunter and no stompies, I would say nah, it's too long. I really don't like this boss fight, to be honest. I honestly don't like this vault. I feel like it's too big for the Hunter, and that's my opinion. Everyone will argue, no, Blitz, you're right. No, it's just too much work for the Hunter. So once we do get the dog symbol, you can dunk the dog symbol and then make our way to the second one. Always remember to have as much Xenophage ammo as you can, because don't want to run out of ammo, run out of Xeno, and then you're stuck in nightmare mode. And then it will lead to a death, and then you'd start all over again. It's just not fun. Yeah, I was just collecting heavy, by the way. Just making sure everything goes very smoothly, and then of course there are infinite waves of ads. Alright, so what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to go to the opposite direction, just lead these ads to the wrong side so I actually can shoot the red bell from my sniper so I won't flinch. And let's be honest, on console it's a pain. So I'm going to shoot the red bell and then go to the nightmare room to the sun. So make sure you take them down. All these cabals, all these mini bosses. Yeah, I ran out of ammo, so I had to switch my glaive, since I couldn't reload my Xenophage in time. Let's be honest, the reload for Xenophage takes forever. You know, it really takes forever. So I'm gonna pause over here right now, by the way, where you can see this cabal jump. It's like, hey Blitz, what's up? When you do see no bell at this direction right here, you can see there's no bell, and then it means that there are 2 bell keepers underground. So always make sure you see both directions if you do forget of where the bell keepers are spawning, by the way, and sometimes everyone forgets, especially during this encounter. Now I'm going to unpause it. The only good thing about Xeno is it can one-shot the bell keepers, but then I only have around 15 seconds to spare. Like, do you see what I mean of the vault nightmare room is too big? I think it's too big for Hunter. I don't like it at all. So now we're gonna deal with these bell keeper spawns, but first things first, we're gonna be dealing with the second mini boss. And yes, this is gonna be the second mini boss. And it's gonna take a while because I only have 11 ammo. It isn't a lot, to be honest. And it's gonna take a long time to do some DPS. So, oh, what do you know? I found some ammo. Lucky me. So, what you can do over here is just clear as much ads as you can so they won't interfere your DPS. Once you do take down these ads and as much as you can, they do have infinite spawn, by the way, then you can do DPS at the second mini boss. The second mini boss actually a solar shield. Mainly it's the unstoppable champion from Nightfalls, except it's not the champion. The reason why I would say that is because it likes to use this attack where it pushes you and then you get burned. So that's why I would say it's kinda the unstoppable champion. Kinda. But it's not. They made it into a mini boss. So once you do clear out all these ads, then you can just quickly try your best to do as much DPS as you can. You know, everything's going well, right? Like, wow, Blitz, Xenophage is actually doing good. Seems to be working accurately. Decent amount of DPS when you have full Xenophage and when you have your tether. So yeah, what do you know? Actually a good, decent DPS. You only have a limited of time to do DPS alone with mini boss, with any mini boss, and then all these cabals are gonna spawn again, hopping around on top of the staircase, which can be a pain. Once we take down the mini boss, now we can actually hunt for symbols again. Yes, we're gonna be hunting for symbols. Isn't it just fantastic? Not only that, I also have to farm heavy. Yeah, finally I'm able to go to Nightmare Room. And we're gonna go to the next symbol. The next symbol is gonna be Axe. Isn't it great? Now we're gonna be clearing that ads as fast as you can. I mean, I'll try my best. And now we can actually go and take down this mini boss. Once you do, you claim the symbol and then you get the hell out of here. And of course, I'm reloading Xenophage. It's just great, right? And of course, take down the bell keepers. And now we can actually get out of here. One more symbol to hunt. We're hunting symbols, isn't it great? And don't forget to be in the circle, by the way. Now I'm gonna go again. This time it's gonna be Cup. So we have one more symbol to go, and then we can actually do some DPS with the final mini boss. So right now I just went to the sun symbol. I just went there to just make them go to the wrong way so I can actually use my sniper to hit the red bell. So once we hit that red bell, the rally bell, now we can actually clear down the last ads. This is the final symbol. Thank you, the traveler and the speaker. Seriously, I'm fed up with this vault. This vault is just not, it's not nice on Hunter. I don't like it on Hunter, to be honest. You know, if you want to use Stompies, go ahead. Use Stompies. Stompies would actually make it easier. You know. It's just kind of ridiculous of how big this room is. You know, it's really strict. I really don't like it. Alright, so now I'm going to be jumping. And we're going to be taking down the bearers, the bell walkers, my bad, from the opposite direction that we shot the red bell. Once I do that, oh, I could check which one has a bell and doesn't have a bell as well if I forget. We're gonna go to the normal room, we're gonna hit the red bell and make our way to the original room. Oh my god, thank the traveler, I'm done. Honestly, I do wish I could pick up 2 symbols at a time, but it's very difficult to do on a hunter. To be honest, maybe if I use Stompies, I will have to do some testing and maybe that will work. I am not entirely sure. It would make it a little easier and kill a lot of time. But yeah, so this is the last mini boss, by the way. And the mini boss is actually a void cabal that likes to fly and shoot. Yes, it likes to fly and shoot. And yes, there are bugs in this video. You can see that the cabal was standing some flaming torch and then just lag disappear. I mean, honestly, it's Bungie. It's totally normal, guys. It's totally normal. Things happen. So I'm gonna slowly reload Xenophage. It just takes so long. And actually do some DPS with the boss. I don't know why, but this guy seems more tankier than the second mini boss, and that's very odd. So I used like over 13 ammo and I still couldn't do that much DPS. Now imagine if I didn't have my super. So yeah, I'm just trying to reload my Xenophage, you know, have Charge of Light, by the way. What, you guys think I don't have it? Yeah, I have Charge of Light and he's still tanky. He's still tanky even with Charge of Light. Like, really? Really, game? Like, I just want to take down the mini boss. That's all I want to do. And of course, I'm trying to reload. Xenophage is just so slow. So yeah, that's the pros and the cons of Xenophage. I mean, the pro is nightmare, room easy, cons, boss, DPS, it's not good. Yeah, I use all my Xenophage and he's still tanky, still didn't do enough DPS. You know, if I was using Lament or Wildehorde, you know, this dungeon would have been done 10 minutes ago. Alright, hopefully we'll take down this mini boss sooner or later. These guys are kind of grinding my gears. Alright, finally we defeated the boss. Yay! And I'll be switching to a sword and actually make it to the final boss. Alright, so this is going to be the last puzzle jump. And this is the puzzle jump where hunters are going to struggle a little bit. And when I mean struggle, I really mean it. So I was actually having a little trouble with the third puzzle. A little bit. Mainly because there were some weird odd jumps where I had to be very careful when using the sword. Now we're gonna go to this room and then there's gonna be a bell from the far left side. If you're wondering why I'm standing there, I was trying to see if I could find a shortcut. You know? Then I realized we're actually gonna be teleporting up to the pillar, right? So I was just trying to figure out the map, like, okay, well, let's see what I can do in this section. So I had an idea of using stompies and then just climbing up there with Lament, but I didn't think it was gonna work, so yeah, it didn't work out. So now there's gonna be a bell from the far left side, and then you'll be going to the nightmare room. Alright, so now we're gonna hit the bell, sorry about that, and then they will spawn a couple of ads. So make sure you take them down. So yeah, you have to time it really good, because if you don't, then you have to do the light swing for the sword and it's gonna be a nightmare. So now you have to go up to this platform up here. If Blitz can go up, up. Okay, thank you. And then you will have to jump from the window from the right side. I'll be throwing my nade or sniping. I forgot what I did, to be honest. And then you have to go in the circle, right? Just like the SpongeBob reference of the sea bear monster, and hit the red bell. Once you hit the red bell, you're back where you were, but this time you're inside this platform where you have to climb up. And we're gonna make our way looking for the next red bell. Yes, the next red bell. Isn't this fantastic? Yeah, this is really fun, guys. I'm having the best day of my life. So I thought maybe I should snipe these ads since basically I'll be going up there. I didn't have enough snipers, you know, my bad for that. So if you do have enough sniper ammo, then highly recommend you take down these cabals. And of course this guy will push you off the pillar and it's not gonna be fun. We'll push you off the mini platform, the rails, you know. Not gonna be a fun experience, so I would definitely recommend to take them down if you do see them. So now I'm gonna be using my sniper, going to the nightmare room, and we're just gonna make our way, running straight. Yes, finally. Don't forget to be in the circle. We don't want a death during the puzzle jump. I mean, imagine that. You just mind your own business and then poof, you die. Then you had to start all over again. Like, that wouldn't be fun, right? Alright, so this is the area where I was just being very cautious because now I had to deal with these cabals, all these ads. So make sure you clear them, or if you don't want to, you know, just go ahead. Now, I was just being very, very cautious, so, you know, I could have turned invisible and then just make my way to the other side. You know, I could have done that, but I was just being very cautious. Like, bear with me, guys. This was my first run for the emblem, right? So finally, we can go up here. And then be very careful with your jump for the hunter. For the warlock and titan, this will be a big joke, but for the hunter, it's just a problem. So be very careful, you know, try to time your jump so you won't break your ankles. I mean, that's the best thing I could say. Don't break your ankles, you know, just be very careful. I don't know why I didn't double jump there. Well, anyway, make sure you jump midway. Alright, that was a bad example of what you should not do. Okay, so don't do what I did. Make sure you just double jump, and then of course once you do your double jumps, you know, midway, then you can use your charge lament if you want to. If you want, it's not necessary, by the way. Alright, I'm gonna go jump to these platforms, and my gosh, seriously, I feel like they forgot about hunters in this dungeon. Like, oh yeah, the hunters, guys. They could use stompies. Yeah, they could, but they could bounce you off to the platforms if you're not careful or randomly. So yeah, be very careful with your jumps for the hunter. It's just very... The jumping in this dungeon is just not good for the hunter. It's just bad. I said it. It's bad. Blitz, how could you? No, it's bad. I just don't like it. Alright, so I'm going to be switching to my solar subclass. By the way, honestly, I would recommend to just go to solar. Trust me, you don't want to be void hunter for this boss fight. Too much RNG with backpacks exploding on you. Too much RNG, try to do DPS, and the boss stomps you with the backpack on your face, and then you get one shot. It's just too much work, so just go for solar. I'll be using Gambler's Dodge, or you can use Marksman Dodge. Doesn't really matter for this one. Now, I'll be using Healing Grenade. Yes, I repeat. Blitz, what? Why? Why, Blitz? I'm using Healing Grenades because I want to reset my healing restoration, and it's pretty powerful, and I don't think anyone knows about it except me and you. For the aspects, it'll be knock them down. And of course, on your mark, fragments will be Amber of Solace. Next will be Amber of Blistering, just to get my grenade energy back from solar burns, if I remember. Then I'll be using Amber of Wander just to get 10 plus resilience. And I'll be using the Amber of MsBlitzVI. Now this is extremely important, so this is a big must. Solar weapons with ability Final Blows extends the duration of the restoration and radiant effects apply to you. So you know how warlocks can do Devour, right? Yeah, you can do that with a hunter. So yeah, make sure you put this on because this is basically going to be your Devour Warlock mode. Lastly would be the Amber of Combustion, where Final Blows with the Solar Super causes targets to Solar Explosion. So Final Blows with the Super causes targets to have the Solar Explosion there. I don't know why they make it so complicated with these fragments. So for my energy weapon, I am using the Kalas MIDI tool. But if you don't have it, you can use a solo bow, by the way. You can use a submachine gun from the Prophecy dungeon. That one is really good. Now next I'll be using the Lament. Yes, Lament. And then, of course, you guys know me. I'm going to use Thoughtless. For my build, I'll be using 5 Resilience. And if you do have 9 tier Resilience, that's good enough. Tier 10, even better. Classy Restoration, a big must. Please put this on when you are in your solar subclass. And the mod where you can get class ability cooldown when using your class ability. Now for this one, I decided to have 10 resilience, arc mine force to use, elemental charge, and it's supposed to be sword scavenger, not glaive scavengers. I'm bugged out, so I'm gonna put sword scavenger because it is extremely bugging me right now. I am extremely irritated with this glaive scavenger. Okay, for my exotic, I'll be using, of course, 6 Coyote with double solo void resistance and Loosen Blade. I repeat, Loosen Blade. And Submachine Loader, powerful friends with 10th resilience. And double sword ammo finder with Ripping Wellmaker and 10th resilience. Alright guys, so now I'm going to be talking about the map for the Kala's Greatest Shame, the Nightmare of Caiatl, the princess. Now, if you already know the map, then skip this chapter, by the way. This is for players who are new to the dungeon, and also, of course, I'm going to read the map for you to explain everything. So as you can see, there is an outline blue or turquoise circle. That is the raid banner, where you can get full ammo and super. So that's where basically you're going to be starting for your character. And all this purple color is basically the purple crystals that you will be walking on. They're completely safe, by the way. They won't kill you. Alright, and then the opposite direction, there is this huge bell, but I didn't draw the huge bell on the opposite direction because it actually has no benefit unless I'm mistaken. You can comment below. The big bell, the huge red bell or bell, doesn't seem to be anything for the DPS for the boss. The only thing I would say about the opposite direction on the top right here, yes, I'm going to put an arrow, is the Nightmare of Caiatl, right? Or Caiatl. It's going to spawn there during the DPS of the boss. Alright, so bell keepers. So there's going to be actually 6. There's going to be 6 bell keepers. So there's going to be 2 bell keepers guarding the left side of the red bell, and yes, that cute adorable bell that is very deadly, by the way. The only reason why I made a happy face is because they're trolls and I despise them. And then there'll be stairs. The lines represent the stairs, so if you see lines, that means it's stairs. So 2 bell keepers from the left side and 2 bell keepers from the right side between the axe and the cup. There's also going to be the middle bell, which which there will be 2 bell keepers in the middle. So the middle will be the red bell, and then 2 will be the bell keepers. So if you look at the white circle with the black outline, those are exactly where they're going to be spawning, the 2 bell keepers. Now the purple squares, they're just pillars. There's just me illustrating the map. They don't really do anything for the boss. It's just a location of the map if you're lost. Now I'm going to be talking about the chains. So the ones with the rectangle with the C, they represent the chains. So the chains are the ones where you're going to start shooting any of them. By the way, any of them. You don't have to shoot all 4 of them at the same time. Right? So when it is the chain phase, you could just pick one to do DPS at the chain, which is really easy with a sniper or glaive. Alright, so now we got that down. Now the symbols. So the turquoise or the blue symbols, actually, they are next to the chains. So if you're confused of where the chains are, they are next to the symbols. So the symbols are next to the chains from the left, and then of course at the right front and back left and back right. And then of course these are the symbols. They don't move, so that's the good news. The symbols for the axe, cup, and dog and sun, or you can call them the callus, warby, sun, and axe. They're going to be in the same spot. I actually decided to have one upside down just in case if players want to flip the map from their phone, or if they print. Now we can actually start the boss fight. So I do apologize once again that this video is very long. Alright guys, so there will be some time skip of me farming heavy, and then one where I kinda messed up my DPS, which I will talk about it very soon. So first things first, there will be bell keepers, around 6 of them, left, middle, and right. So what I like to do first is do the dodge to get restoration ×2. And of course, my hunter was kind of flying over there with the sword. I take down all of the bell keepers. Reason why is because they do distract you, and then when you're trying to shoot the bells, they get in the way, and plus we do need to take them down so we can have the red bells available. Now I did the safest strat because this was my first go. So what you can do with here is actually get 2 of the symbols at a time, but for this video I only did 1 at a time. Reason why was I was being super cautious. This was my first go for the boss fight with the solar hunter, by the way, and I was a little bit nervous, and plus it was 2 a.m. in the morning. I was really tired, and then I had work. Well, I was supposed to sleep, but you see, as you can see, that I was tired, and there was just a lot of things in my mind. So what you can do over here is look at the symbols. The symbols you can see is cup and axe. Cup and axe, if we are at the rally, cup and axe is at the far right front and the far back right. Now, if the symbols are in the same wall, like the cup and the axe, you can actually get 2 of them very easily. Now, I'm trying to remember if I did get them very easily to go for this phase or not. So you can see here, I kind of forgot to pick up the symbol, and you can see that I decided to just go 1 at a time. Now, you can get 2 symbols at a time if they are close. If the symbols are horizontal, you can still get the 2 symbols at the same time, but you have to be very careful with the Colossus because they can definitely mess up your jump, especially using Lament and then trying to hunt for these symbols. So like I said, I did one at a time. I could have get 2 of them, by the way, but I went slow for this run. Now I remember with the fragment that I was using on my loadout, any solar weapon or ability will increase the duration of restoration. So that means that any kills I get with the solar weapon, including the primary, I can raise up the restoration. So basically devour, but 10 times better, and nothing can kill me unless the Colossus does the slow attack on me. It will cancel my ability for some odd reason, which I will talk about that very soon. So now what I'm doing over here is I'm clearing ads. And you don't really have to clear too much ads, by the way. You could just go and just get the symbol right away. But like I said, I was taking things very slow for this run. And as I said before, I do apologize that this run is very long. Like I said, this was my first go for the solar subclass for the boss fight. I was doing the first test run and then my first attempt for the solar subclass. Because I was doing the void, by the way. Didn't work out. And to be honest, I would just do solar subclass. I wouldn't bother myself doing the void. It's just too much RNG with the backpacks and the stomp with the boss. Too much work. So just go for the solar and be careful with the backpacks. You know, they're not really dangerous when you have the restoration, but you still have to be very careful with them. So finally I got the 1 symbol, and now I'm gonna go in the circle and teleport to a normal room. So because I didn't do the 2 symbols each phase of the symbol hunting, all these bell walkers or these bell keepers respawn again. If they do spawn again, highly recommend just to take them down. Or if you're on the speed run, I guess take just 2 of them, of the ones where you're gonna use to shoot the red bell, and then just make your way with these symbols. All depends on what you want to do, by the way, in your playstyle. But like I said, this was my first go with the solar subclass. I was actually just testing and then doing this run at the same time, because I was actually quite amazed of how powerful this new artifact mod, classy restoration mod, is. So it's really powerful. I just cannot believe it's actually more powerful than Devour. Basically you're Warlock on a hunter, but better. Like, it's making Warlocks as a joke for a while, you know. And also Titans can do this as well. Right? It's crazy. So now we're gonna go for the next patch of symbols. So we're gonna be hunting for symbols again. And yes, I do apologize that this run is a little slow, but like I said, I am gonna do some time skips of me farming some heavy, because I know it's gonna take a while, especially for the DPS. So always look at the map, or if you don't have time, or you know, you're panicking, you could just look at the symbols from the top platforms. You can see there's sun over there, and then there's also other symbols. So it's cup and axe. So cup and axe is actually basically the same thing from the far right and the front right, if you are standing at the raid banner area. Now if you're in the opposite side, it'll be from the opposite direction, from the left back and left front. Right? So if you do want to, you can just go and clear all the ads first and then pick up the symbol. It all depends on what you want to do, by the way. This is just me abusing basically restoration, devour, of me being a warlock on a hunter, and it's quite amazing, and I am definitely going to abuse it throughout this season. On dungeons, definitely on prophecy, like a big hell yeah, I would definitely going to abuse it for the hunter. Alright, so once you clear down all the ads, and also you can use this method to at least get some heavy bricks for the DPS phase. Now I'm just trying to see where the symbols are. Just double checking, even though I had the map. I wasn't really using the map so much. You know, the map actually fell down from my chair and I was a little lazy and tired to pick it up. If I have to be super honest with you guys, that's basically what happened here. I didn't have my map next to me, it fell down and I was a little lazy at picking it up. Okay, so you can see here that I actually did 2. And now I can clear down the 4 bellkeepers. Now, just to let everyone know, because I already know people might die here. These colossus are extremely dangerous and I hate them so much. If they shoot missiles at you, they will cancel your restoration. If you do see them nearby, I do recommend once you pick up the first symbol, take down the first colossus. Now I didn't really do it in this video. This was, like I said, my test run and at the same time my boss run, you know, for the solar hunter. So make sure you take down at least one of the colossus, basically the Arc Cabal at the Nightmare Room, because if you don't, he's gonna cancel your restoration and then your ability dodge is wasted. You don't want that to happen because there are backpacks that can one-shot you. It's very buggy, by the way, even with 100 resilience. I'm just letting you know based on my experience. It can melt you, snipers and shoots you, and then boom, you start all over again for the emblem. So right now what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to collect some heavy. And like I said, I am going to do a time skip of me gathering heavy for the DPS. So I don't have to drag you guys of trying to get heavy bricks during the DPS phase. Alright, so now I'm going to shoot the chain. Takes around 2 shots for the sniper. Reload, by the way. Once you reload, take down the 2 bellkeepers. You can also throw your healing nade so you can get restoration for around 12 seconds. Now the boss is going to be walking left, right, or middle. Here he walked in the middle, and I got lucky over here because usually he has to be a little bit closer to the bell for it to be staggered. Once you stagger the boss, right, you only have a couple of 12 seconds and then he'll move randomly left or right. So he's moving from this specific side, and just be very careful and then shoot the bell. Now I'm gonna pause over here because everything's going way too fast. You have to make sure Caiatl doesn't touch the bell. You have to shoot the bell when it's near the bell. Basically, Caiatl, right, the boss, she needs to be near the bell for you to stagger. Once you stagger Caiatl, right, the boss, going to stand and not really do anything so much. Maybe a stomp here and there. You know, you have to be very careful. And then you're going to have around 12 seconds of DPS of the waking resonance. Then that's when you can do DPS at the boss. Snipers are shooting you while you're doing DPS, so you must look at your restoration timer and always dodge to reset your healing ability to do DPS. You only could do 3 mini phases of DPS with the boss when staggering the boss with the red bells. And 3, the boss is extremely RNG where he's going to be walking. Take a look at the boss, see where he's going to move. He's going to move from the left, right, or middle. If he walks in the middle, be extremely happy because that is going to be the best day a guardian can ever have. Sometimes it's really hard to predict when the boss just moves from the right side and then you're standing in the middle and then it stops a bit and then it decides to go from the opposite direction. And you can see the damage is okay. I mean, it's decent. It's not the best, you know. I could have done better. So now I'm gonna go back And I'm gonna take down these bell keepers. Now I could have done more DPS, by the way, because once the DPS is gone, then he'll, you know, try to move after a couple of seconds and then go to the next bell. So now I'm trying to do as much DPS as I can. So you can see here that I should have done more DPS, but I hesitated. But you know what? No one's perfect. You can also do DPS over here as well, but you won't do too much damage for a sniper's around 500k. Once you do DPS at the boss, you start all over again during the phase. And basically what you have to do is take down the bell keepers again, all 6 of them, far left, far right, in the middle, so the red bells can be unlocked. Then you have to go hunt for symbols again. 4 times, by the way. Well, 4 symbols, or 2 times if you get 2 in one go. So I had Cup and Sun. So now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to go to the Sun. And I was just checking where the symbol is. And now I'm going to go to Nightmare Room. I'm going to pick this up. And then of course I'm going to take down these bell keepers. So watch out of these bell keepers. They can push you off the map. So be extremely careful with them. Now I couldn't get the other symbol, by the way, but like I said, I was taking very, very slow for this run. So I definitely wanted to take my time and just go for the safe strat. So right now what I'm doing over here is I'm just clearing as, taking my time, taking advantage of Devour. Basically Solar Devour. Because you can reset, well, you can add duration just like Devour with the Solar ability and Solar weapon, which is why I'm using the Solar submachine gun. Alright, so now I'm just missing Cup, so I'm gonna go to the opposite direction. I'm gonna use my sniper. I was just double checking, by the way, because I didn't want to forget. So now I'm gonna get the Cup, and I'm going to take down these bell keepers. So like I said, be aware of the sometimes can't say restoration, so you have to be very, very careful. Just always look at it. You never know. I don't trust them. Don't trust these arcaballs that shoot arc at me, and make sure you're in the circle. And once you do, you can dunk the symbol. And now we gotta get 2 more. Yes, 2 more. Now I'm gonna go to the dog. So it's gonna be dog and Cup, by the way, across. If you're probably wondering, the bell watchers appear of where there is no bell. So you can see here that it was from the left and then from the far right. Make sure you're in the circle and accidentally hug the bell, so be aware that the bell can kill you, so be very careful. Right now what you saw over there was Instomp me, and then I quickly used my Lament shield. Even though I used it, it did try to push me off the wall, so be very careful with the bell keepers. They can be extremely dangerous. And of course, it's nice to throw a nade when taking down the first bell keepers. And make sure you have full heavy, because the boss is very tanky. So now what I'm gonna do over here is clear down these guys. You don't really have to clear them down, to be honest. You can ignore them since we are just gonna shoot down the chains and then we can just go and make our way to the boss DPS. Alright, so once I shoot the chain, I'm gonna go to the middle bell and then take down these bell keepers quickly. So now I'm gonna be waiting for the boss. I think the traveler is moving to the middle. That's wonderful. It almost touched the bell. I barely made it, by the way, so I quickly used my super to do DPS. And I could have done more DPS, but I hesitated. Like I said, this was my first go for the solar subclass. So I was seeing where he's gonna move, and it looked like he was moving from the right side. So now what I'm gonna do over here is I'm going to stagger him again, do DPS once again. And then I'm gonna go back here. I could have done more DPS, like I said, I hesitated, this was my first go. And then I'm gonna take down these bell keepers, and these backpacks keep trying to kill me, but nope, not today, not with Solar subclass. So now I'm gonna be doing more DPS. So I was just being very careful with the backpacks. I saw one from the left side, one from the right side, and I don't trust the boss at all. I don't trust him. I was right. So now I did enough DPS and I was quite happy about it. So now we're gonna start all over again. But this is when I do the time skip, because guess what happened? I messed up my DPS. I had probably like the worst luck a guardian could have in a dungeon. So for this phase I messed up my DPS. I wanted to time skip this since I wasted 8 minutes of my life of probably the worst DPS I ever done in a dungeon. And I was pretty upset. So I'm gonna be showing you of what happens when the boss doesn't cooperate with you. And things don't go your way. So you can see here I was throwing a nade. You know, everything looks good. Then the boss all of a suddenly walks really fast. Like, he's not supposed to do this. He walks really fast. And I'm like, oh my god, this guy is being extremely bad. Not only, I thought he was gonna walk in the middle, but then he was moving the other side, and I was like, oh no, I messed up my DPS. It was extremely odd, it didn't make any sense. But hey, you know, things happen, so guess what? I had to start all over the phase of the DPS. And it was a bit frustrating, so you see here, it's the Sun and Cup horizontal. So as you can see here, I probably had the worst DPS for the boss fight. The boss was moving really fast towards the right side. It was very odd. I mean, when he does that, or when she does that, it's really hard for the hunter to keep up. And it's just extremely odd and awkward. And things happen, you know, sometimes it happens, you know. Sometimes the boss doesn't cooperate with you. Because of that, you know, I have to start all over again the DPS. You know, I could have 3-phased it, you know. Could have 3-phased it, but nope. Couldn't do it because the boss decided to move from the right side and move really fast. Alright, so I'm gonna go get the sun symbol. So once I pick up the sun symbol, I'm gonna take down this Colossus because sometimes it can cancel my ability for restoration and we don't want that to happen. Then I'm gonna take down these bell keepers, you know, and then I had to hunt 2 more symbols, by the way. Yeah, it's gonna be extremely fun. Going one by one, taking my sweet time for this dungeon. As I said before, I could have done 2 at a time, but probably next time. You know, I wasn't used to the solar subclass. I haven't had time to practice. You know, I need like 6 hours to practice, but I only practice for 1 hour. So didn't have a lot of time. For the next symbol, I am going to get the cup. So I'm gonna get the callus or the cup, so make sure you stand on this platform and then use your sniper. So once I pick up the cup, you dunk the cup and of course take down all these bell watchers. So now I'm gonna do another time skip because this is basically the same thing over and over again. You pick it up and then you dunk the symbols. Now to hunt for one more. So this is gonna be the last symbol. I took down all the bell watchers or the bell keepers. All 6 of them, by the way. Now I can spawn kill the bearer and get the last symbol. So make sure you take down these nightmare bell keepers. Go to the bell. And finally you can do DPS. Isn't it fun? Make sure you're in the circle. And yay, DPS time. Now the chains will appear. They are orange, by the way. So you could just clear all these ads if you want to, or if not, if you have enough heavy, by the way, then you could just do DPS at the boss. Alright, so once I cleared down all these void cabals and I got full ammo on my heavy just in case something happens, I'm gonna shoot out the chains and then spawn to the 2 bell keepers with these deadly dynamites of backpacks that can one-shot me. Now what I'm going to do over here is make sure the boss is close to the red bell and take him down. I'm going to use my super, take down this very annoying boss because he is just extremely annoying. So now I'm just trying to see where he's gonna move. Okay, he's gonna move there. Try to make him stomp you, even though stomp can be very dangerous. And be careful with the backpacks. Yep, you can see there. Do you see what I mean, guys? He stomps, backpack floats and explodes. That's why I don't want to be a void subclass. It's just too much work of dodging it or having RNG of getting one shot. So we defeated Caiatl, and we got the solo flawless emblem. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.